Now today we'll see how we can use calling a schedule based service from our service. Okay. Log. Okay, so some REST service has been created by someone, so that should be fine. Okay, some other integration. Fine. Okay. So, okay, so we have a schedule. There is a schedule-based service calling SOAP API. This is a schedule-based service. You can see it's a schedule-based service. So, how we can call this schedule-based service? Let's. So, let me. Okay, this is integration name is integration calling SOAP API. Okay. It can be from app driven or it can be from schedule based. Anything is fine. I'm passing some dummy request. This is request. Okay. And enter input. Okay. I'll be taking the tracking video, taking the tracking video here. Okay. Now I will be using integration activity. So in our OIC service, can be SOAP based or REST based. If you want to call any schedule based service, then we have to use a integration activity. Okay. Call schedule based. Okay. So this is our API. Process done. Okay. For this, we don't have any input parameters. The reason behind, we did not create any schedule parameters. Oh, schedule based API, we have this input parameters.
I think it's app driven you have selected, sir.
Okay, fine. Maybe. Right. So let me use some schedule based. Okay, this is some schedule based of Vijaya. SH. Let's see. Yes, correct. There's a correct one. Okay, done. Update this. Mapper for schedules. Okay, so this is schedule based one. So we don't have anything. Okay, nothing mandatory parameters. Schedule as uh, let's see how it works out. We'll see. We'll invoke it and we'll see. It doesn't require any parameters, but if we want to have any schedule-based parameter that we have configured, then we can use that. Max, we can have 5 parameters for that. So I'm just giving a response, a synchronous response, saying like my schedule-based service has been invoked. Like this. I'm not looking at the response here, but only we are triggering it. This you can consider as a asynchronous service one way, where you're simply calling the service, you're not anticipating any response. You're simply giving a response here. So we can say like scheduled service invoked successfully. Seems like it's not getting triggered. So let's create this thing. What we say, uh, a schedule parameter, and let's invoke this. Which I did not do that. So let me create a normal schedule thing. So if this is keep on running, what we can do is we can stop this or we can abort it. Okay. So to abort it, click this. So if you want to abort this, here aborting this. In the sense, we are stopping the running of the process. Okay, so let me create a normal one schedule-based service. Schedule sample. Okay, so here, take here, we have something called schedule integration properties. Okay, create some value here. Input. Give some dummy value. Okay, there is a schedule parameter. My bad. Okay. So answer it as input. Give some ABCD. Identification property. Let me delete this time.
Can't we use global variable there?
Let me delete this. Something is happening. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is done, but this guy is not taking this. Okay. Okay. Let's do one thing. Let's create a variable and leave it. Let's transfer. Default values accepted. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. That accept. Okay. Let's see what's error. Not giving any error. Okay. What is that? Okay. That at least invoke. Okay. I got the problem. This is it. And get some default. Yes, that was all. My bad. Okay. I'm just put some value here. So when you activate it, okay. When you trigger this integration, it will ask for schedule parameter. You can see parameter some default value task. Okay. The same thing. I'll go back. I'll not doing that anything as such. I'll go to service which I've created calling this. Let me deactivate this. Let me delete this guy completely. Now I'll use the integration activity. I have to pass an input parameter to call that schedule based service. So when you see earlier, we did not had any parameter. Now we can see it requires some parameter. It will show that you can see schedule parameter. One, two, three, four, or something, some data that should be fine. Anything. Now refresh this. Let me make it horizontal. Save this. Save this guy. Close. See, it has invoked schedule service. So now we can see it has been completed. Now it has been sent. 1, 2, 3, 4 parameters. Okay, so if you want to call any schedule-based service, if someone asks you a question, can schedule-based OIC service, schedule-based orchestration can be called from OIC? Yes, you can call that. We can very well do that. The only thing is we have to have a schedule parameter. When we have a schedule parameter in place, then we can do that. Okay, let's see whether instance is created or not. We can see that. See, it has created. So now, so far we have seen different examples. Uh, okay, so we have seen this number of examples which we have to cover it. Now, so far we have seen how to call a schedule-based orchestration from OIC. How we can do that? We need to use integration activity and need to have a schedule parameter. How many schedule parameters that we can have? Max of 5 schedule parameters we can create. Am I clear, guys? Guys, am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay. So the task is you take any 5 or 10 examples, 5 or 10, it's up to you. 5 to 10 examples which you have created schedule-based orchestration and you call it. So one thing you can do is instead of hard coding the value or the global variable that you are creating, what you can do is pass the input parameter from parent service. Okay, parent service can be OIC. Or parent service can be SOAP or REST API. Okay, child service can be schedule-based service. Okay, child service have the actual logic. Put some logic, like already we might have implemented concatenation, substring, state functions, state function, substring. Then we have mathematical, like calculator service. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. Okay, you can try with substring before or and substring after. Okay, 6 examples you try. Okay, try to create soap and rest. Not one, both you try it out. From parent service, call a child service. So it will be 12 examples for you. Okay, call your soap and rest API, create a schedule based service, which you have created already, use those concatenation one, pass that input, you have to see the result in concatenation schedule based service. You will be passing the input from this, and this has a logic. The same with substring, the same with date functions, the same with mathematical calculated service, same with this. Clear, guys? Any questions? Vijay, Suman, any questions?
In concat, we can pass anything like we have created before.
Already service, you can use concatenation, substring, date function. Those are schedule-based services that you can call. Okay, so if concatenation has one input parameter, use one. If substring has one, date function has one, create those. Create the schedule parameter and pass that. What they have to change the logic is, instead of hard coding the value, pass from the schedule parameter value. Okay, let me show you that. Okay. So you can see this schedule parameter. You can map this. When you're writing a logic, instead of this sample input and output or the variables that are created, you can use the schedule parameter, and you can make the logic change. So what are the input that we are passing from parent service, that will be taken care of that. Okay, so one more question, I want to ask, or to be precise, explain you. So one of my friend recently attended an interview in which there were a couple of questions which has been posted to him, which I've explained you, which I want to reframe it again or re-explain it again. One, when we have a schedule based or when we have any integration, okay, which is 1.0. Let me put it 1.0. Okay, so if someone asks you what's the difference between new version and clone. Okay, when you go with clone, the name of the integration will change, or it gives some numeric value underscore. Okay, this is a feasibility. The name of the integration, you can change it. When you go with clone, having a copy of the code, but having a different name, we can do that. Okay, the beauty is we can have the same name also. But if you try to create with the same name, the clone is not possible. It will not accept. So we have to create a minor version. When you create a minor version, it will accept it. Same integration name with a minor version. Okay. So this 1.0 is already activated. Okay. So you made some changes. And if you want to activate this, okay, it will say requires deactivation of 1.0. Both integrations with a minor version cannot have been activated. It is not possible. Okay. So when you do activation, so what happens is 1.1 will be activated by default and 1.0 will be deactivated. You can see it's activating and 1.0 has been deactivated. The same thing you can write out. If you want to try to activate this, it says the same thing. Activating integration 1.0 requires deactivation of this. Activate this. It does a reverse way. It will activate 1.0, deactivate 1.1. It has deactivated. When you have a minor version. Okay, if we want to have a major version, Major version is the completely changing things. Cancel. Let me have a clone of it. When we have a clone, okay, the identifier will have only one, cannot have multiple. So let me make it. This is a major version. If this is, if you make the changes here, this will become a major version. If you make the changes here or here, this will become a minor version. Anything will become a minor version. So this is a major version. So 2.0. I have 1.0, which has been activated. If we want to activate this, yes, we can activate it. It will not complain anything. It will parallel be activated with a major version. Okay, the bottom line would be when you go with the clone option, we can rename the integration, rename the identifier. That is possible. If you have a minor version with the same identifier, we can have only one copy of integration as activated. Both cannot be activated if it's minor. If it is a major, we can have both. We have seen this. This is one. Second, let me go with, let me delete this guy. Okay, 2.0. We have create new version. When you have a create new version, identifier cannot change, name we cannot change it. Only version we can change it. By default, it comes with one version here, create new version. It will accept it, 2.1. If you want to try to activate it, it says the same thing. You cannot have both versions at one time. One has to be deactivated. When you click on activate, 2.0 will be deactivated and 2.01, that is minor version, will be activated. Versioning would be same as clone, but the difference would be in clone you can rename the integration, rename the identifier. In case of version, we cannot do that. That's one point. Second point is when we have a minor version, then we can have only one copy as activated. Other copy we cannot have. Both copies we cannot have it. If it is a major version, both copies can be activated. Clear, guys? Any questions?
No.
I'm not clear.
Yes.
Okay, if you don't have any questions, then we stop this. So you just practice these examples and clone and version. Make a notes of it. Okay. So this is so far we have used assign activity, wait activity, we have used through activity, integration activity. This is done. Then we have used switch case activity. We have used for each. Okay. And we have used stage. Right now. Okay. So just prepare a note for all these activities. Also, we have used soap adapter. We have used rest adapter. Let me put adapter. Adapter. Okay. And we have used scheduled based integration, app driven integration. Try to prepare the notes for all this on your own terms. Don't copy paste from anywhere. We have done a lot of examples. Try to understand in your terms. If you want, I'll explain you again. Assign activity is generally used to create variables, manipulate the data. For that, we use assign activity. Variables is to hold the value. Wait activity is only used for synchronous or sorry, asynchronous or one-way services. For synchronous, it is not accepted because wait activity is disabled.
In any integration, we can use assign activity. It doesn't create any problem, right?
Yes. Throw activity, if you want to throw an error, if you want to throw explicitly some error, like consider in our case, calculator, if the operation is wrong, if we want to throw error message to the source system, then we use a throw method. Integration activity, if we want to call any SOAP-based API or REST-based API that we have created within OIC, then we can call it. Or the schedule-based activity, or the child services that we have created in OIC, then we can. Switch case, if you want to have any if-else conditions, then we use it. For each, when we have multiple data, for each data, we want to create a separate file. If we want to write a logic where, if we want to write a loop, then we use for each. Stage, intermediate, if we want to write the files, then we use it. So try to understand these topics, make a notes. Clear? Any questions, guys? Thanks. Any questions?
No problem. Okay.
Okay. So if we don't have questions, we can expect tomorrow, same time. Okay. Just this is useful for you for the interview standpoint when you go for any interviews. Okay. Guys, am I clear?
It's from clear.
Yes, sir.
So this example and try to prepare this notes. Okay. Thank you.